Hey everyone, with the Evolution of Combat live now, I'm going to give you a few minute video with some tips on how to get started in Dungeoneering. So first off, I want to say that if you have a number pad, when your action bar is open you can press the asterisk to go from your combat stance to your weapon sheath stance, your neutral stance I guess you can call it. When you're in your combat stance, people will see your combat level. Outside of Dungeoneering. I'm just doing this inside Dungeoneering because I'm here. When you're in your neutral stance, they will see your total level. Okay, now, I have my two-handed sword on, so my two-handed, or my melee abilities, my basic abilities are lit up. Basic abilities require no adrenaline to use. That's what you're going to use to build adrenaline. So I've got 4 melee abilities. You could switch between different bars, but I'd rather have all my Dungeoneering stuff on one bar, quick access to all the keys. And this is really more than enough, you'll see. I've got 3 basic abilities in ascending order of cooldown. You can see the cooldown in the top right of the information window. So 3 seconds, 10 seconds, 30 seconds. So 3 seconds and 10 seconds I can use fairly often. 30 seconds, it's going to be longer. Now I have a threshold ability, which is 50% adrenaline, half bar right here, and those are more powerful. But I don't want to really load my bar up with that because you're not going to be in combat that much. I mean, you are, but combat is sporadic in Dungeoneering. So you do a Guardian room or two, and then you might have 10 puzzle rooms in a row, do some key doors. So, I mean, you could use adrenaline, but I would rather you could use momentum, but I would rather build adrenaline, use it, and then move on. And then when I'm in combat again, build it, use it, and move on. Okay, so I've got my melee abilities 1, 2, 3, and 4. Directly below that, Q, W, E, and R are my range abilities. So when I put on my bow, you'll see my 3 basic range abilities light up, and once again, ascending order of cooldown, 3 seconds, 10 seconds, and 15 seconds. You can go into your abilities book and look through the different ones. Melee, 2 types, range, and magic. I mean, I don't need magic, but you may if you use magic. I keep mine on the teleport spell. So, these are the abilities I liked personally, and again, I want a quick cooldown so I can go monster to monster using the abilities as frequently as possible to do the best damage. And once again, I have 3 basic abilities for range, and then I have a threshold ability. Again, 50% bar, which will do more than the basic abilities. On my number 5, just to the right of my melee and slightly upward of my range abilities, I have drop gatestone. So now what I can do is, I'm going to drop it. Now, say I'm running through a room here, and I'm walking. Lovely. So I'm running through a room, I can cast and hit number 5 to instantly drop. You don't need to quick cast anymore. There's no right click quick cast. So if you have a gatestone out and you need to break it, you just left click cast, and I can hit my number 5 drop and it's down. You could set the cast to one of your hotkeys, but I just don't have the room for that with my setup. Extremely important, freedom. You find this in the defense and constitution, and it's under the shield right here. You want to set that to your bar. That will unstun you for 6 seconds and keep you immune from it for 6 seconds. Even if you have magic protect or deflect on, mages can still stun you in place, so you want freedom. Finally, I have my bow and my sword set to my F and G, which are just to the bottom right of my other ability keys. I just like this all centered in the top left because I also use the F keys. Switch between inventory, gear setup, prayers. In Dungeoneering, I pretty much keep my prayer menu up the whole time, so that's why I don't bother having my prayers on here. But for someone doing something like Jad or Tormented Demons that you require a lot of prayer switching, you can set those to your action bar too. Again, this is a Dungeoneering setup. And then my magic menu, I'm just going to leave it on teleports. So I got my home teleport, personal gatestone, group gatestone, and then cast. So that about does it. I mean, I can show you. I can hit my G here to switch to my two-hander, my F to my bow, and that really does it. So I hope this helped you. Once again, these are abilities that I liked and that work for me. I've tested this out a little bit, not too extensively, but I've done a few floors, and they've worked very nicely for me. You may want to consider setting up a separate bar for bossing, and you can toggle between those bars with either Shift, Alternate, or Control. You right-click here, and you say Customize, and it'll say Control, Alt, or Shift. I like Shift. And then so you can hit number 3 to go to your number 3 bar, number 5 to go to your 5, and 2 and 4 in between. So you could set up a ball scene bar, and then you may want to consider having another 2 or 3 threshold abilities, and maybe even an ultimate ability or 2, because that combat will last quite a long time. But sometimes in Guardian rooms with 2, 3, 4 other people, it's 10 to 15 seconds of combat, so you really don't want to try to hope to build that adrenaline, and then you just come short, and now you wasted all your time when you could have been expending that adrenaline on your threshold and then rebuilding it with your basics. So I hope this helped. Definitely subscribe to me. I'm going to be making videos, as I always do, make videos on request, but my chat is currently off at the moment. You know, I usually keep it on. It's off because I'm getting tons of questions about EoC. So leave me a comment on any questions or comments you do have, or any video requests, and I'll be happy to explain it. Also, feel free to message me in game if you see me on and ask me any questions, and I'll do my best to help you there. So like the video if it helped you, and good luck, guys.